Welcome to The Explainer. We usually think of AI as the single superpowered brain, right? But what if the future of AI isn't a solo act, but a whole perfectly coordinated symphony? Well, today, we're diving into a fascinating playbook that lays out exactly how to conduct an orchestra of specialized AIs.
And that's really the million-dollar question, isn't it? As AIs get more and more specialized, getting them to collaborate on one big, complex goal is a huge challenge. But this document offers a pretty surprising answer. You got to treat the AI team less like a bunch of coders and a lot more like a symphony orchestra.
So, the whole idea is to create what's called a Meta AI Playbook. Think of it as the master plan, the complete score for the music. Its job is to get a bunch of different AIs to perform one single, complex task, like, say, generating a whole movie from a simple script, all in perfect harmony. And why an orchestra? Well, think about it. It's a perfect model of collaboration, where all these diverse specialists work together under one vision to create something incredible that no single instrument could ever do alone.
Okay, so just like any great orchestra, this AI team needs a single leader to guide them. It needs a conductor.
This quote right here is key. It's talking about the conductor, which the playbook calls the orchestrator. And get this, its job isn't to actually do the work. Its purpose is to encapsulate the whole system, to make sure all these different AIs are acting as one cohesive, adaptive team.
So what does this AI conductor actually do all day? Well, the playbook breaks it down into 5 main jobs. It manages the operational cycles. You can think of that as setting the tempo for the whole performance. It enforces the rules, making sure every AI plays by the book. It monitors for coherence, which is just making sure the team is playing in tune. It handles any problems that pop up. And finally, it ensures state unification, which is just a fancy way of saying it makes sure every single AI is working from the exact same up-to-the-minute sheet of music.
But of course, a conductor is nothing without their musicians. I mean, a brilliant conductor with a terrible orchestra is really just waving their arms around for nothing. So let's meet the specialist AIs that make up this ensemble.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. You've got the role definer, who's kind of like a section leader, assigning parts to each AI. Then there's the prompt engineer, who acts like a vocal coach, tweaking the instructions to get the absolute best performance out of everybody. I love this one. The system monitor is like the percussionist, not just keeping the beat, but providing that rhythmic foundation and making sure the whole system is stable. And finally, you have the protocol establisher, who's like the music librarian, making sure all the rules for how they interact are clear.
So you've got your conductor, you've got your musicians. How on earth do they all stay in sync? The answer is pretty simple, really. They all read from the exact same sheet music, a super strict, shared set of rules and communication protocols. You know, one of the biggest hurdles with any AI system is bridging the gap between our world, which is full of flexible, sometimes messy ideas, and the AI's world, which needs absolute, total precision. This playbook tackles that head-on by translating our concepts into a formal, structured language that the machines can understand with zero confusion. And to get that precision, all communication uses this thing called the space format. See that special character? Every single message, no matter who sends it, uses that to clearly separate all the different parts of the instruction. It's a really simple but clever way to make sure there's no ambiguity and every command is understood perfectly. Okay, and this is a really big deal. The entire musical composition, the whole system, is built on a non-negotiable set of ethical principles. And as you can see, these aren't just suggestions. Think of them as the fundamental laws of this AI universe. They're hard-coded in. From doing good and avoiding harm to being fair and transparent, these principles act as the moral compass for every single thing the AI team does. It's the framework that ensures the music they create isn't just complex, but also responsible.
All right, so we've got our conductor, our specialist musicians, and the sheet music they're all following. Now, let's see how all these pieces actually come together to make the final performance happen.
So the work happens in this very clear, managed cycle. First, the orchestrator figures out what needs to be done and lines up the tasks. It keeps track of what's being worked on, and then it assigns the job to the right specialist AI. Now, this part is critical. It enforces dependencies. That just means one AI can't start its part until another one has finished theirs, just like you can't have the violins come in before the brass section is done. And the whole time, the system monitor is watching to make sure everything's running smoothly. But how do you know if the performance is actually any good? Well, success here isn't just about finishing the task. It's measured by 2 key things that create harmony. First is coherence. Basically, is everyone playing their part and staying true to the music? And second is resilience. How smoothly is the whole thing running? Are there a lot of mistakes, or is it a clean performance? It's the system's way of listening to itself to see if it's in tune.
So when you put it all together, the conductor, the specialists, the rules, the workflow, what you get is this incredible unified system. It lets a whole team of AIs achieve a single high-level goal that would be way too complex for any one AI to ever tackle on its own.
So you see, this is way more than just some technical document about managing AI. It's a playbook for a totally new kind of collaborative intelligence, an AI symphony. And that leaves us with this fascinating, maybe even a little unsettling question. This is the playbook for that symphony. What happens when the music they eventually create is something we ourselves can no longer even comprehend?